It's a beautiful June weekend here in Washington, D.C., and I was leaving a day of celebration and practice and driving through Washington, D.C., and I was moving through the city very slowly because it was the day of our DC Pride Parade. And the streets were filled with people on the sidewalks, streaming down the streets in all kinds of outfits and flowers and flags and celebrations. It was quite beautiful. And I thought about how important it was for coming together on this day, celebrating how alike we are, that we're all anchored in love in the midst of so much division. And I really thought about how hard it is for us to choose to love when we're in such a divided world, when we're in really uncertain times. And what does it mean to go deep enough to be able to choose love? So that is what we're going to explore today. We're going to bring in the teachings from some of my favorite, maybe our favorite teachers. My main teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, as well as Jack Kornfield and one of our founding teachers here, Tara Brach, and some of our favorite poets. So we're going to invite them in to help us look deeply at what does it mean to have that kind of courage to choose love when it's easy to fall into division. So let's start with a practice. I invite you to stretch your arms. Oh, that feels so good, up high and out. Maybe do a twist. We're preparing the body to drop in. Mindfulness practice, spiritual practice is embodied. So we want to first take care of our space, then stretch our bodies, and then we can practice. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If not, just gaze softly at the desk. You'll see me closing my eyes. It helps me to close these sense doorways and go deeply. And sometimes I'll have them open where everything is welcome. So let's begin by arriving fully in this moment. Just coming in deeply into the body. The body is the experiencer of life. The body is the one. The body is the part of you that's moving through the world, smelling flowers and hearing birds, receiving a hug, giving a tender touch. So let's start there. Moving into the body, feeling the feet. Imagine the earth beneath you. Hello, Mama Earth. There you are supporting me. Allowing your breath to deepen just a little. Remembering the breath. Feeling the inhale and the exhale. Now soften the shoulders, the jaw. Relax the hands. Pull up just a little in the spine, inviting an alertness, a dignity. And with this strong back, soften the belly, letting go of any contraction there, tightness. Feel that. Feel the dignity of feet on the floor, strong back, soft front. Sitting like a majestic mountain, regal, sacred, strong. Beautiful. Feeling your whole body sitting, present, awake. Here, arriving. You've arrived right here in the body, in community, being together. Just allowing yourself to have this moment. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being alive. Having the attention of your mind be in the same place as your body. It's a beautiful coherence here. Allow your body to be breathed, expanding awareness out and feeling the ebb and flow of the earth kind of moving back and forth in you. Feeling the wider place of belonging that's always here. Seeing your life almost coming back, relaxing back into a wider, spacious awareness, the breath moving in and through you, and seeing your life as one wild and precious life right here. witnessing, observing the context of your life, the family members, those that are easy to love and those that are more distant, if any, colleagues that are close in, those that are distant. Former partners and spouses, neighbors close and far. And then widening out to groups, places of belonging, and groups that you would never belong to. Not in a million years would you be part of that group, where you feel no alignment, no shared values, or just that's not the kind of activities that you enjoy. We just see the lily pads where we're comfortable and those that we would never jump onto. And then we widen and think of political groups where we feel more comfortable, and subgroups and unions and organizations and places that feel like home. And then other groups where we would just rather hide in the basement than show up at their meeting. We start to see the separation. It's just there. And as you scan your life, bring to mind a situation where it's really hard to choose a sense of belonging, of love. It might be a situation with a loved one. It might be a place of political or social tension. It might even be a place inside of yourself that you often reject. A place that you deny or push away, a place where you feel shame. Something you did, something in your history or family. So we're scanning for where it's so hard to choose love, something that's alive, something where you tend to judge or hide or protect, or a place you withdraw. Could be external or internal. So let this person or group or place in you come to the foreground. Just, if you can, from your heart, you must imagine a gentle beckoning gesture, inviting that person or group or part of you to take a few steps closer. And notice what feelings arise when you do that. Is there some tightness? Does the armor go up? Is there a heaviness in the chest? Maybe there's a sadness or a fear. What do you feel somatically in the body? You step back. And then experiment with the idea that there's nothing to fix here. This is a place where love is difficult to choose, and I am willing to explore. And now inviting in curiosity, sensing the body, noticing what's here. What sensations are you feeling? What emotions? If things have gotten a little fuzzy, go back and remember what you're working with. That person, this group, a part of you, a friend or family member. Just see that person or part right there and what arises in the body. Can you soften the edges of your judgment and ask, what am I believing about this person or myself? What is hurting here? Inviting in our wise Ruby Sales, and she teaches us to ask, where does it hurt? Where does it hurt you? You fighter over there, or you shamed person or shame part in the corner. What's hurting? Noticing that reactivity in the body, remembering Tara Brach's teaching. When reactivity arises, let it be a portal to care. So we feel the reactivity, the tightness, the aversion, the clenched throat. And we look for what's hurting. And we invite in a quality of compassion. Let this be a portal to tenderness. Taking a deep breath here. I know I need one. This is stretching the heart, stretching our capacity. And as we sit in this inner landscape of reaching out, inviting in, allowing, feeling what's happening in the body as it's happening, not escaping or running or pushing away, we can say, this too belongs. This too belongs. Widening our awareness in this space, relaxing back into the teaching from Thich Nhat Hanh of interbeing. We enter our. What does that mean? What would that mean right now, in this moment, in this situation, to really extend a knowingness, a belief that we enter our, that we are each other. We're springing up from the same source. We're different expressions of the same source. We are not separate. This person, just like me, wants to be validated and seen and understood. This person, just like me, wants to belong. They want to matter. This is our shared humanity, our shared beingness. We can feel that shared beingness in a circle of meditation practitioners, Sangha members breathing together. It's so easy to feel it. So easy to feel it moving through the streets when people are at a parade and laughing and hugging and celebrating. We are one. But today we walk through the doorway of conflict, disagreement, of shame, of aversion, of anger, of I would never join your club or your party or your group. That's the harder path. And it may just be a neighbor that you just give a quick nod to and don't talk to. Or that family member you just check in with once in a while. How do we open the heart? How do we have the courage to choose love? The mind creates the abyss. The heart crosses it. Taking a deep breath in as we hold those words of Sri Nisargadatta, the mind creates the abyss. Where are those abysses in your life? Is your heart so nourished, so filled with self-compassion and kindness, so fueled by the beauty of the earth around us that it has the power and strength to cross the abyss? You can invite that love in right now. May I be held in compassion, putting a hand on your heart. May I meet this moment with tenderness. This moment. May I choose love, even when it's hard. Feeling the love pour in, inviting in the love that's all around us, the unified field of loving awareness. It's already always here. Now bringing in someone that's difficult to love, or a group, an ex-lover, a cranky neighbor, extending It's a powerful heart you have. Opening up, dropping the armor, letting go of the judgment. May you be held in compassion, extending blessings outward. May you be free from suffering. May you receive the care you need. May you receive the resources and support you need. May you heal those places that are hurting. May you know the love that is your true nature. Bringing attention back to the breath. If that was just too hard, just can't offer the blessings directly to a certain person who's hurt you or a political figure. Start with extending love and kindness out to the field. May all beings be loved and know that they are loved. May all beings caught in pain be held with care. May all beings be nourished from this field of loving awareness. And now envisioning this whole Sangha sitting in a circle, shoulder to shoulder in a beautiful clearing. We're really in the field together, putting the right hand on the heart, the left hand on the person next to you, on their back. Just feeling, sending and receiving the love of community. May I be held in compassion. May I receive the love. May I open to receiving the love that's right here. And may I send, generously offering kindness, a gesture, a check-in, a donation, a hug, an offer of help. Sending and receiving. May we resource each other. May we find a way forward in these very difficult times that honor dignity and reverence and care. May I walk through this life with an undefended heart. May I walk through shoulder to shoulder with you. The heart is like a garden, and what we water will grow. So we water the beauty in each of us and those we meet and those we practice with. As Hafez says, I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. May we be mirrors to each other, and may we reflect that astonishing light in those places where it's difficult to choose love. Bringing attention back to the breath. Resting awareness here. Taking a full cycle of breathing. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Imagining hearing the sound of the bell. I'm going to open the chat. If there's anything you want to put in the chat, any words that may come to mind, any feelings, somatic sensations in the body, just scanning and putting those words in the chat for all to see. It's a way we we connect in this virtual sangha. I feel so much shared love. So if you can choose to write something there, you can hold something in your heart. You can extend that word outward. So I'll move into our talk this morning. If you need to stand up, do so. Sometimes it's great to stretch after such a deep practice. We'll have some more movement in just a bit from Emily, but it's sometimes good to stretch your legs. As you do so, I'll tell you, as we're thinking about pride, it's Pride Weekend in DC and across the country. And I was really, really taken by a story that some of you may know of Utah's Republican governor, Spencer Cox. And amid these pride celebrations, this governor chose to not officially declare a Pride Month. Instead, he issued a heartfelt message urging compassion and shared humanity. Republican Governor Spencer Cox said, "This June, I'm reflecting on the values that bring us together here in Utah: service, respect, and love for our neighbor. May we keep building bridges of understanding and strive always to see the humanity in one another." And you can imagine when he didn't declare, Pride Month and instead issued that declaration, that there was backlash from both sides. Pride supporters felt ignored. The conservatives were upset by the acknowledgement. His words really point to this profoundly wise path that the Buddha laid out for us and many other spiritual teachers across traditions, that in moments of tension and division, choose dialogue, not silence. Choose openness over reactivity and division. And his example is an echo of the spiritual commitment that we make, that we learn from the Buddha when we invite Mara to tea, when we invite the conflict, when we invite the fear to come in and sit next to us. We learn it from Ruby Sales when she said, "Hey, where does it hurt?" We learn it from Thich Nhat Hanh in his poem, "Call Me by My True Names." His teachings of interbeing, to look deeper than the differences. And we learn it from another teacher that I love, Jack Kornfield, who teaches us to really access the courage that we have. It takes bravery. It's easier to turn away, particularly when it's volatile. So that's what we're here to do this morning. I thought that would be a really powerful way to deepen and just practice. We practice and practice. What we practice gets stronger. We practice stepping into where it's difficult together as a Sangha in this Sunday classroom, so that when we are in the world on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and we pick up that newspaper, we open the phone and read another difficult thing, we get into a difficult conversation with someone we love or lifelong friends that have a very different point of view now, we are strengthened. We have eased the glide path to choose love. So in that poem I just mentioned from Thich Nhat Hanh, Call Me by My True Names, he says, I am the child in Uganda, all skin and bones. And I am also the arms merchant selling deadly weapons in Uganda. That's just one piece of this powerful poem. He's inviting us to step into both sides. He's teaching us. He's showing us through his beautiful, beautiful gift of poetry that we are each other. That's what interbeing is. And so that's a source of our courage. We contain multitudes. Separation is an illusion. And that way of seeing is taught in the Eightfold Path, the path that teaches us right view. So what is right view? It's about seeing clearly the interdependence of life, like really seeing that people that are holding a very different sign in a parade, which may be happening next week, that very different sign, that person holding it is someone that is coming from the same stream of life and vitality and energy as we are. Right view is seeing the interdependence. When we recognize the suffering of others as our own, says Thich Nhat Hanh, we cannot turn away. And from right view comes right intention, an inner vow to respond with love and not fear. And so we say right intention. Thich Nhat Hanh uses the word vow. That's a much stronger word. That's bigger than commitment. Like vow that I am going to respond with love. What would that mean if we took that vow every day? With fear, we contract, we move away. With love, we move towards. But what gets in the way? Why is it so hard to make a vow of love? Why is it so hard to enact it in everyday life? Well, here we can look at the five hindrances. Sensual desire, we're grasping for pleasure, we are avoiding discomfort. It's very uncomfortable to step through that minefield of conflict, to experience what's going to arise in the body when we enter into a difficult conversation. We know it's going to feel terrible. This isn't easy stuff. So we've got the hindrance of wanting to avoid discomfort. We have the hindrance of ill will. It's so easy to blame. It's so easy to judge. Brene Brown says, it's so hard to be curious when we just love to judge. We just enjoy it so much. It's like the Sunday brunch conversation of just talking about people and decisions and policies. And did you see what so-and-so just did? Did you see the way they looked on that stage? Did you hear what the neighbor did last week? So it's just, we just fall into that. That's ill will. And then we have sloth and torpor, not words we use every day. What does that mean? That might look like avoidance. Like, I know all this is going on. I know I need to have that difficult conversation, but I think I'll just send a polite text twice a year to that estranged family member. Or I'm just going to numb out. Next time things get difficult, I'm numbing out. Let me have another martini. Let me have another Netflix binge. Whatever it may be. I think I'll jump back into work, whatever refuges we use. Many of us actually find ourselves in the spinning, anxious, tumultuous mind of anxiety. We worry. We're future tripping. We're running scenarios of what might be. And we're caught in that. And that's creating adrenaline and cortisol releases into the body. We get tight, it impacts our health. We get irritable. So that could be the hindrance. These are just the ways that when we want to enact that vow to choose love, there's so many ways that so many things and so many conditioned ways, so many habituated ways that block us. And it may be one that I see a lot with my clients that I coach and work with, and that's self-doubt. Like, I want to do it. I just feel so much despair. I don't think I have enough energy. I don't think I have what it takes. Or maybe it's cynicism. I work with the Presencing Institute at MIT, and Otto Scharmer there, and one of the leaders there, teaches us to listen for the voice of judgment and the voice of cynicism. As we're navigating any difficult situation, can you hear that voice? Voice of doubt. And we just listen for those, and then we name them. Once we name them, we create separation in that we're no longer over-identified with all these hindrances. The voice of judgment or cynicism, the voice of blame, the anxious voice. Tara Brach calls these voices the spaces where we leave ourselves. In IFS therapy, they're called parts, internal family systems. They're parts of us that are speaking. There's the worry voice, there's the anxious voice, there's the judge. And these are parts that are here to protect us. We are a survival species. We want to stay alive. So these parts are like coming in like, man, you know, the voice of doubt. It's not going to work. I don't know. Just better stay in your own corner, lay low, go do some gardening, maybe some grocery shopping, read a nice book today. I do love all those things, by the way, and love to do them on a Sunday. But we need to cultivate that wise mind, listening to our higher self that can see when it's actually defenses or hindrances or parts that are rising up. And our path is not to banish the voices. I never subscribe to Dharma Talk headlines that say, tame the inner critic. We're not trying to tame anything with a lion taming whip, right? We're not taming the voices. We're befriending them. We're meeting each thing that blocks us from love with curiosity and compassion. Those two C's, curiosity and compassion. That will help us. Again, the Buddha said, I see you, Mara. When the Buddha's doing his Dharma talk and his assistant Ananda sees Mara running around in the back of the talk, and he says, I see you. Come here. Come here. Come sit right here. Where does it hurt? And so we learn to do that with ourselves and each other. And we choose love as a daily practice. So we can do that with rain. We can do that with recognizing what's arising and allowing it and investigating. We can do it with practicing the Eightfold Path, looking at right view. How am I seeing this? Looking at right intention. What is the vow that I want to live by? Looking at right speech. Are my words kind? Are they necessary? Can I listen? This is a really tough one. Can I listen without needing to defend? Can I bring in curiosity? Can I be the majestic mountain that we trained earlier? Can I bring that mountain energy in and hold space so that someone can share what they need to share and feel witnessed and seen? Can I take right action? What would it look like? What behaviors would I make? Where would I spend my money? Where would I spend my time if I'm in alignment with love? Maybe it's an action of setting a boundary, saying no. No, I'm not going to vote for that. I was with a friend yesterday who said, no, I'm going to stop paying taxes. I'm not paying taxes into a system that is, in her words, just completely out of alignment with her values. That's a boundary. That's a really strong boundary. That's making a vow and taking action in alignment with what matters. Right livelihood. Are we participating in systems that uplift dignity and reduce harm? It's interesting, that question I have under my own work of right livelihood that I've learned from my teachers. But it's also interesting about, am I participating in systems that uphold dignity? And my friend, a deep practitioner yesterday, said, I'm not paying taxes. Like, that's kind of an example of that. Jack Kornfield reminds us that love is not a mood. It is a conscious choice to stay present, to act from the heart in alignment. Sharon Salzberg says love is a verb. It's a movement. So our job these days is to be courageous and to choose love and not fear, knowing that we're choosing actions, we're choosing a path, we're choosing speech, and we're practicing. We're practicing together on Sunday mornings and throughout the week. We're practicing conditioning the heart. When judgment arises, which it will every day, if you pay attention, you will see judgment arise every day of your life. So you have a lot of chances to practice this. When it arises, can you say, this too is worthy of compassion? When it arises, when judgment arises about yourself, when it arises about a, a politician or a neighbor or a friend, can you say, this too is worthy of compassion? What happens when we say that? What happens to our body physically? What's the somatic reaction to choosing that? It's physical. What happens to the heart? So as we close here, I want to bring in one of my favorite teachings from Thich Nhat Hanh, and that is the commitment and the vow and the practice of watering seeds in ourselves and each other. In order to do that, we have to ask, what seeds am I watering in this moment? So when we need to be in dialogue and conversations around what's happening in our country, what's happening in our families, what's happening in our communities. We need to pay attention be present, be aware, nurture these communities and places of belonging, not ignore. So we're paying attention, we're holding containers, we're being the majestic mountain. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, we are being the calm person in the boat. That is what our practice gives us, the capacity to stay grounded and centered when it's all feeling like chaos and complexity and uncertainty. And then as we speak, as we take action, as we direct our attention in different places, we ask, what seeds am I watering in this moment? The seeds of compassion, the seeds of oneness, the seeds of judgment or blame, aversion, the seeds of hate, conflict, separation. So just practice that one. You might write that one line. Do I even have a Post-it note? I usually do, and I don't. On a Post-it note for this week, what seeds am I watering in this moment? By my emails, by my texts, by the photos I'm sending other people, by the poetry I'm sending. When you speak to someone on the other side of an issue, are you watering seeds of blame or curiosity? In his poem that I referenced earlier, Tai says, "Call me by my true names so I can hear all my cries and laughter at once, so I can see that my joy and my pain are one." This is radical love, to see yourself in the other and the other in you. It's not the kind of love the world trains us for. It's the kind of love that our Sangha, that the Buddha, that the Dharma, the three jewels awakens. Mary Oliver says, keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. When we choose love, we become the unimaginable. We become the field beyond right and wrong. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here with me, imagining the sound of the bell. Thank you, dear ones.